folks, and welcome to their Saturday morning Samoflange. I'm Matt.
I'm Benjamin.
And I'm Wes.
And I'm still eating pizza.
And I'm Megan.
And here's Megan. There's a girl in the room.
Part 3 of the crossover.
Part 3.
Where were you in the Book of Boba Fett discussion, Mrs.?
Not on that podcast.
There you go.
Get out of here.
There you go. All right, so now it's top 5. Last week it was top 80s, forgotten 80s. Now it's top 5 forgotten 90s movies. Now, Wes, guest. How much crossover? You were saying this right before we went on.
We had one on last week's. I'm saying minimum is 1 on this one.
Minimum. So he's.
I say
two.
maximum is 4.
Whoa, okay.
Whoa.
Which one are you going to pick on that? Those are bold.
I'm
Pick
just saying.
one number. I'll let you pick first. Pick one number.
I'm going to take the under.
So you're going to take 2?
2.
Yes.
Okay. Benjamin? Oh, no, Megan?
I would think at least 2.
Okay, I'll let y'all have that. Okay, so we got to pick.
I can say 3.
I think me and Megan have more in
You-
common
We got
than
to
y'all
pick.
do.
We got to pick
0 or 1?
0. What do you want? Or you can go bold and go 4, but there's no way.
No, I don't think
There's no way for 3
I feel like
either.
all 5 of yours again, like last
2 is
week.
a good guess.
I think all of yours will be nonsensical, and that no one's going to see any of them. Like, so I think your crossover specifically is going to be 0
All right, but
with any of us.
overall. Are you
I'd
saying
give it
1 or 3? You're saying 1.
I'll give it 1.
Okay, well then I either have to go 0 or
0
3.
or 3.
And I'm going 5. I'm kidding. I'm going 0.
Of course you are.
I'm going. You know what?
You know there's going to be some.
Not with him.
Not with him, but with
No, I'm
But
going to
with the three of
go
us?
3
who
because there's
actually
going to be
enjoy
2.
good movies.
I think there's going to be 2, but well, I'll go 3.
Okay.
All right. So I'll go first.
You hit it.
Yeah.
Do it.
I don't
We'll go
mind
backwards
first
this way.
if you want me to.
All right, go first.
keep eating this pizza.
Okay. My number 5 is, I feel like, a good classic. It is Fear
Fear.
with Mark Wahlberg
I know that
and
one.
Reese Witherspoon.
I know that one.
Fear.
Yep.
You don't know
I don't
Fear?
know.
That's a good
Fear.
pick.
That's a good line.
That's a good movie.
Oh, okay.
You don't know Fear. I got that.
I don't
now.
know Fear. All right,
should watch it.
I've already,
It's-
right off the bat, started
it's a
something on my
thriller.
to-watch list. All right.
It's a young Mark Wahlberg and a young Reese Witherspoon.
So we were just talking off of the air between the two of us that you were allowed to watch scary movies though as a kid
I mean,
at one grandma's house, but not another.
yes.
And it
So like the
depends
house I
on
lived at,
yes.
I was not allowed to because I got scared easily.
So in the 90s, I still wouldn't really be watching horror movies in the early 90s. Like I just didn't watch a lot of them growing
Well, it's
up.
not like I wanted to watch horror movies either. We just
What?
watched a lot of,
A lot of trash on TBS,
Yeah.
like everybody else. Okay, no, that's fine.
My grandmother didn't care. I mean, we showed up.
Did
and
she have the laser disc of Fear?
Yes. Oh, I don't know. No,
So did you watch Fear on TBS late at night?
no, this was on DVD or VHS.
Okay, VHS. Okay, gotcha. But why is Fear in your top 5?
It's a good thriller movie, and that's
There's
kind
got
of
to
like,
be more to it than that.
Because Mark Wahlberg takes his shirt
I
off.
mean,
Hello.
There you go.
just watch it, and then we'll have this conversation.
Yeah,
Okay.
watch it for
Oh,
spoilers.
I mean,
anyway.
I mean, he was coming off those Calvin Klein ads. I told you, me and Megan had something in common here. She's smiling.
I'm telling you.
Girls
okay.
that smile,
Good deal.
they're not mad.
Good deal. Okay. My number 5 was obscure until the actor, the star, died recently.
What?
And I think more people remember it now. Norm Macdonald's Dirty Work.
oh my word.
I love that comedy.
I got
back in the
introduced
day.
to Norm
It's
in
Norm
Saturday Night
Macdonald
Live.
being Norm
Yeah.
Macdonald.
Okay.
So I mean, he's he's not really acting. He's just being himself. But I loved that movie. It's one flop. It's Norm Macdonald jokes.
Because of Norm Macdonald? So
I
is it-
love Norm Macdonald on
Is
Saturday
it
Night
just
Live.
one big SNL Norm Macdonald skit?
Roughly.
That's
Wow.
one of those SNL movies that
Was it an SNL? I didn't know
Well,
it
I'm just
was.
saying, it seems like it falls in line with that time frame where all of those actors got a shot.
when he left, when he got fired from SNL, that was the first movie he made.
I think everybody had a shot.
Yeah, but and I thought it was hilarious. So I mean, and like I said, it would be more obscure if he hadn't have died. But now that he's dead, I think more people are finding that movie. So, but that's why it went down to number 5 for me. All right, what's number 5 for you, Wes?
Office Space.
Office Space!
That's a great movie.
That is a good one.
That is a brilliant
Solid movie.
That deserves him to be a top 25 list.
I just say, and I wouldn't say necessarily, I say it's forgotten only because when you watch it, you get older. If you watch it again, you go, man, this is my life.
Right. It hits you different.
Why is all of this so relatable right now?
I got lucky. I never saw Office Space until I had already worked in an office, so it immediately hit home.
Well, if you do anything, like when she's getting coached on wearing more flair, does she have enough pieces of flair on?
Right.
And look at that guy. He's going,
Yeah,
whatever
it's
that guy
just
is.
like,
But
and
every joke hits.
Correct.
Every joke hits. It doesn't become It's weird because they did a great job of not becoming a farce. You know what? Like a National Lampoon. It wasn't a National Lampoon. It was
No.
just,
Not until
there are
the
these
very end.
eccentrics. I would argue that it didn't the whole movie because there are these eccentric characters that don't make sense in the real world. But in that movie, everything tied together. It wasn't like it was making fun of itself.
the fact that he's named Michael McDonald, and they're like Michael McDonald, the singer, or Michael Bolton. Michael Bolton.
Michael Bolton.
Yeah. He's like Michael Bolton.
McDonald.
Sorry, I got my Michaels mixed up. I'm still
Ronald's
thinking about
brother.
Mark Wahlberg's abs.
Wow.
When he says, "What would you do with $1 million?" and he says, 2 chicks.
But that wouldn't cost $1 million. And then he says,
Two chicks at the same time.
No, 2 chicks. 2 chicks for a dude like me. You know.
So I
Dude
just
like
thought
me, dude.
like so much of that stuff.
Yeah.
Just still a good movie.
I think that's really solid.
That movie really hits, though, differently if you have worked in an office before. And I think with COVID being the way it is lately, a lot of people don't.
Mike Judge, Beavis and Butthead.
That'd be a good
Nailed
argument
it.
against returning to the office. Like, have you seen this movie, boss? I need you to see this
Yeah.
before you ask everybody to come in the office.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah.
Good pick.
Brilliant.
All right, number 5 for you, sir.
I keep shuffling these around because I didn't feel like I had a good top 5 fleshed out, and this one's too popular. But I have Mrs. Doubtfire on here. With
I almost put that on
Robin
my
Williams
Almost.
being Robin Williams, but it's popular. So
Is that
it's
your
hard to say.
favorite Robin Williams movie? I need to think about this. It's one of yours. It's got to be one of yours.
I don't know. That's a good question.
You really love Mrs. Doubtfire.
I do. He is hilarious.
Robin's just amazing. He's on a
Yes.
different level from everybody ever.
But I almost put that on my top 5.
Now, why did it get bumped out? Because you had better movies, or because it was too popular?
Because of Mark Wahlberg's abs.
Hello.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
I mean, come on. No, I don't know. Like, I feel like it is popular, but I don't think it's too popular.
Yeah.
But
I don't feel like
I feel like
everybody's
there's
seen
other
it.
movies that are better
Yeah.
forgotten than this one.
Agreed. That's why I want to just skim right past it and say, great movie, need to watch it again. If you haven't seen it, definitely worth your time.
Yep.
Okay. What's your number 4?
My number 4, maybe a crossover. I don't know.
I'm hoping because I'm sweating here. We went one whole round without any crossover.
But my number 4 is going to be Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings! No! I hated that movie.
That's actually a really good pick because it was popular for the 1 year it was out.
For the 1
and
year.
no one talks about it since then. But no, I agree. That's a good
I
pick.
did start watching it the other day.
Based on a true story.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Jamaican
Slate-
bobsledding team with no snow.
John Candy.
John Candy.
Yeah.
But I started watching it the other day.
Wow.
I didn't get through it because the girls, but
Because it's cool running. Oh.
because the girls came in.
I was going there.
But that's my number 4. I'm
That
surprised.
I'll be honest. That is a good pick because it was a big deal when it came
It
out.
was a really big deal.
And everyone had seen it, and
It's a
now no
timestamp
one.
movie.
Yeah.
Yes,
It still
no
is.
one talks about it. That
Winter
is a good
Olympics
pick.
Are on TV right now, and the bobsled teams, like,
Yeah.
you can't not see bobsledding
That is
without
true.
Cool Runnings
But-
happening.
But the year it came out, everyone saw that. Everyone knew what it was,
Oh,
and
yeah.
now everyone's forgotten about it.
was
No
a
one talks about it.
It was a phenomenon. That's a perfect pick
That's
for
a good pick.
the theme of this week's
Solid pick.
podcast, for sure. Solid.
Yeah. My number 4 pick is Cannibal Women of the Avocado Jungle of
I'm
Death
so
Part
excited,
2.
Part 2, yes.
I'm kidding. It's
No.
actually Gattaca, starring Ethan Hawke and Jude Nelson, Judd Apatow.
Jedi.
I
Maybe.
feel like I turned that off halfway through.
But
I have not seen it.
I've not seen it.
It's a man. You're living in a perfect world where children are genetically engineered to be perfect at everything. I mean, perfect genetic code and whatever. He was born all natural by his family, so he is impure. The impure people work as janitors, menial, blue collar work. But the white collar people are the genetically, intelligent gene. So what he's doing is he's faking being perfect. And how he does that is
Boy, the struggle is real.
Yeah. Jude Apatow was perfect, but he got into an accident and broke his back, so he can't. Well, he is in exchange for something. I can't remember what. He's giving him his tissue samples or whatever, like skin cells and nail clippings, so that he can kind of.
So he can pass the test.
Well, so he can pass the test.
Sounds got a Logan's Run vibe to it.
Peeing into a bag for Ethan Hawke, so when Ethan Hawke goes to take the P test at work, he passes through as a pure guy, and he's trying to get into this. I don't know, the space program or whatever.
So he used a Wizinator.
I guess, yes. But I don't.
Purity detection.
I don't want to spoil the end of this, but it's really. I just loved it, and no one talks about it for good reason. I don't think it was that popular when it came. It was a late 90s too, and there was just a slew of these, thought-provoking sci-fi films out there.
I was going to say that movie sounded almost like The Matrix or something.
Yeah.
It was
but
pulling.
No action.
Right, it was like pulling from other movies.
Yeah.
Kind of like how we said certain movies were checking all the boxes earlier. Or last week,
that's a
rather.
good one, yeah.
But the thing is,
let's check a lot of 90s
he was
boxes.
never stronger than his older brother, and they used to do a contest where they'd keep swimming in the water until they got too tired and went back, until they thought there was a point of return.
That sounds like a 90s
But he
trope, too.
conditioned himself to where he had more determination than his genetically enhanced brothers.
Impressive.
Good movie. All right, number 4.
Have you read the Red
No, 4,
Rising
sorry.
book series? The
No.
Red Rising about Mars and the class wars and everything else, basically? Okay.
No, that's interesting.
A
There's
lot of that
board
with the
game
different
called
the
Red
different
Rising
colors
about Mars.
Oh, really?
With different, I'll have to let
Okay.
you look at it. It's based off that book series.
Probably. But is it class warfare, like being born a gold color or red color or whatever?
Okay.
Difference.
Yeah.
So, Wes, what is your number 4?
Oh, yeah, thanks. Well, I've spoken on this on a previous podcast, and it's kind of timely considering what's coming out. Batman Returns.
Batman Returns.
We actually did an episode on this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, why? What?
Because
Well-
we wanted to talk about, this is on Prince of the Universe, I should say. Batman, go ahead, you talk.
Well, I think it's like the forgotten Batman movie because of the fallout from it being so much darker than the 1989 movie. Them going to Joel
This is the one,
Schumacher.
Penguin, right?
Correct,
Yes,
with
Penguin,
Penguin. Yeah, and it was like Tim Burton. It was really a Tim Burton,
It was Tim Burton
movie
AF. Yeah.
with Batman in it.
It was.
Yeah.
It was Nightmare Before Christmas with Batman.
But-
Edward Scissorhands existed.
Yeah, it was
in
Edward
Gotham.
Scissorhands
Yeah.
with Batman.
Correct, and I think that the part of it is, I think it's a good Batman movie.
Okay.
And I like, is you're such a fan of good.
Cinephile.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot to take in.
Yeah. Burton has such a good
And it's got
style.
an incredible love story. So, it's all good.
It
And
is a good one.
isn't that the one that Oprah famously walked out of? Do y'all remember that story?
I don't know. I know that it
Because
just
the
got
opening
tons of
5 minutes
flack.
doesn't the Penguin's parents, they throw him away because
Yes.
he's ugly, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And Oprah famously gave the movie more play because she was, that was Oprah, she's
Yeah,
goddess,
back at the
especially
height of her show.
especially then. And within the first 5 minutes, she got up and left the movie theater, and then that was all over everywhere. And so then people really wanted to see it.
Right. So I think that adds to it because when you think of the Batman movies, 89 obviously jumps off the page. And then you had these different iterations of it, but this is the movie that caused the different iterations because it was such a different take, and you had core characters with such a different take on them.
And Michelle Pfeiffer will always be my favorite Catwoman.
Man, that was phenomenal.
She was perfect.
Oh,
That's also the
drop
one with
puns.
Christopher Walken in it, too, right?
Yes, which
Walken's
is
in that?
yes.
Yes.
Who is Walker? Is he the
He's
commissioner
like the
or something?
assistant to the mayor or something.
Wow.
I can't remember
I might need to
exactly.
rewatch it just to see
I'm Max
Walken do
Schreck.
his thing.
But it
You.
is good. It is a good
Bruce Wayne and Max
Chris
Schreck.
Wayne, that's fantastic.
All right, number
See that again.
4.
My number 4 is King Ralph, with also John Goodman. Do you remember
Wow.
King Ralph? Honestly,
Burger King. had King Ralph stuff when it
Did
came
they
out.
really? Burger King
Remember,
sponsored
because
it?
he eats Burger King in the movie. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
sponsored
No,
by Burger
exactly.
King.
I didn't remember that Burger King
I
sponsored
did not know
it.
there
I
was a
Burger King
tie-in.
all the
Burger King
time
was
as a kid.
Burger King was a tie-in, a media tie-in.
No kidding.
That's why he has Burger King. That's why he has Burger King in the movie.
I'm surprised that you remember King Ralph. That's fantastic.
Only because of Burger King.
I
mean,
remember
love
it
me some
because
Burger
of
King.
John Goodman. Yeah.
Yeah, and Goodman being great, and I realized making these last two lists how much I like John Goodman movies, and but I just love the opening part of it when he's in America being awful, and then the whole royal family. Isn't that the opening montage? The royal family is getting together for a giant picture. It's the whole royal family, the queen, from the queen, everybody down, and all of her grandchildren and everybody
Yeah.
else. And then they get electrocuted because the dog chews a wire or something
Yeah.
or the whatever, and then so they all get shocked and die. And so,
And then they have to follow the lineage.
You
down
follow the
to-
lineage of the royal heritage, and then it comes down to some podunk, American guy
Slob.
who's a slob and disgusting and just an idiot, and he's now the king. And he has to. It's one of those fish out of water
Have you
stories.
not seen this? Oh, okay. I remember.
It's
I saw it
hilarious. It's bad. It's not It's not a
vaguely.
great movie, but I totally
Actually, you
rewatch
watched
it.
the very beginning. You got the movie, but the very beginning's pretty funny when they all die.
Exactly.
That's funny.
And that is the movie. You get the whole movie if I tell you that opening bit, and then the rest
Turn it
of
off
it is
after that.
predictable.
Go,
Yeah.
okay.
Find the checklist of
I
90s
got
tropes,
it.
and you've
Because of
seen
course,
it.
what's he gonna do? Is he gonna burp in front of someone? Someone's gonna go,
Oh, my goodness. Right. Right.
The royal court's gonna be so offended by the American.
I think
Okay.
that was the first crossover, like a fish out of water, posh society versus a low collar society. kind
And
of
speaking of crossover, I'm dying here because there's this round two and there still hasn't been any.
way. I'm winning.
Yeah,
crossover.
I'm winning.
Okay, yeah, I know. So number 3.
So I keep going back and forth with 2 movies on this one.
Oh, that means your top 1 and 2 are solidified and cemented in their spot.
Yes, they
Oh
are.
goodness.
So I can't decide, but I guess I have to pick one. So I'll go with it. Oh, it's just such a hard decision. But I guess I'm gonna go with The Bodyguard.
Costner?
I should have known. I
Costner
should have
and Whitney
known that
Houston.
one.
Is that a forgotten movie?
I would say today it is.
Yes, I agree.
I don't think anybody besides
Back
our
in the
generation knows
90s,
that movie.
everyone knew about it, but after the 90s left, people slowly kept
think-
forgetting about it.
Yeah, I think
Suppose so.
partially because of the downfall of Whitney.
Whitney.
Yeah.
Yes. Now I think people know the song, but they don't know what the song is
I
That's a
from.
agree
good
with
point.
that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Sing the song for us, Megan.
Let me wait till my sinus is clear.
Yeah. Okay.
But I do love me some Kevin Costner.
All
Right, which she has referenced earlier. So we
Those
know
Yes, she
that
did.
Those lips.
she loves those silver
So after
foxes.
we-
Wait a minute. Is that the? Are there more Kevin Costner coming?
Oh,
So what I was going to say is after
Robin Hood, Prince
after
of
we've
Thieves.
all done with our top 5, then I'll tell you the other one that was
On
in
the
running
cusp.
for top 3, for number 3,
Okay.
may or may not be a Kevin Costner
which may
movie.
or may not be,
Okay.
and may or may not be a crossover. I don't know.
The suspense.
Okay. Back in the 90s,
Okay.
Michael Douglas was the man, right?
Was
He
he?
did a lot of film. Well, he did a lot of films back then.
did.
This is one that no one remembers.
He's
It's
very
actually pretty
prolific.
solid. The Game.
The Game.
Is that where he's like
Yeah.
he's like drugged or something?
Well, it's his birthday, and then something weird starts happening to him. He starts getting kidnapped, and there's it looks like there's killers. It looks like there's
Yes.
everything weird. I mean, weird things are happening to him, and there are people in clown masks, and it's just like freaky. And then it ends with they terrorize him off of a building. He falls off the building through glass panes, but then suddenly, well, I mean,
Oh, remember
spoilers.
that. Yeah, the end.
Spoilers. The ending, he falls onto a big balloon, like a stuntman
Cushion.
pillow cushion,
Yeah.
and he's all confused. Everyone says, "Happy birthday." You said you don't get adventures anymore. How was your day? They wanted him to have an adventurous day because he said life was dull for him.
Yeah.
Now that he was rich and everything.
I remember that.
I saw that
Twist
movie.
ending.
Very good.
Very good.
Where you watch it, it was over, and you're like, "This is
Yeah.
Well, when he jumped off, I was like, oh my gosh! You forget that it's his birthday, and he said because they said that out in the very beginning that birthdays are dull. He said they'll probably have some droll surprise birthday for me that I won't. And at the end, it turns out to be a surprise birthday party. But it was like you're so confused. Like, wait, did they mean to show that? He felt that was the stuntman falling on the. Wait, what? And then everyone's saying happy birthday and coming out with the cake and everything. I was like, and he's confused too. And you're just like you're seeing the movie from the star's eyes.
Yes.
Perspective. Yes, thank you. Excellent movie.
Because I watched it just a couple of years for the first time with you, and I was so confused the whole time. I'm like, what just happened? What did I just watch?
It's like it's almost like if you miss the first 10 minutes of Pulp Fiction, and you just start watching, you're like, what the hell is going on?
What is this?
Yeah, for real.
Did you ever watch the Netflix series? This is a little bit related, but not Master of None with Aziz Ansari.
No.
Okay, there's a moment in it when the big tall guy who I identify with in the series, he comes out of the movie theater and they're all walking together as friends. He says, "Yeah, man, that was great." And so and they're talking about the movie. She says, "No, tell me about it. I haven't seen it yet." I said, "Okay, I won't say anything." But dang, there's this great twist at the end. It's like, don't tell me there's a twist at the end. I'm already looking for the twist. And so it's just like, even if you didn't spoil it, you spoiled it. So anyway,
Yeah, I had to because it was just that's why it was so good.
That makes sense. That's why it fit the top 5.
It did. Number 3.
Number 3.
The Cable Guy.
Cable Guy! Super Bowl
I
win.
almost put that on my
Did you
list.
see the
I did.
commercial?
That is not on your list.
You didn't see
It's not on
the
my
commercial
list.
for the Cable Guy? They did that. He reprised his role for a Super Bowl commercial.
I didn't see
What?
Yeah,
Recently?
he reprised the role in the Super Bowl that just aired. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to look
it's
it
on
up.
YouTube for sure. He redid it.
I knew I
it
should've
was
watched
it was
the
a
Super Bowl.
commercial for Comcast or Verizon or somebody, and he redid the character.
I'm going to have to look it up
Yeah.
on YouTube.
There you
Tell
go.
I
us.
usually watch the
No,
Super
tell
Bowl
us
for the
more.
commercial.
I just thought that it was once again a different take, kind of going off the Batman thing, where Jim Carrey was coming off the Ace Ventura and this
Yep.
real lighthearted
Mask.
silliness.
Yes.
Mask.
And then you've got
Yep.
Cable Guy, which is real dark.
It's like,
Yes.
what is this?
Kind of, very, very dark. And you've got Matthew Broderick, kind of when he's becoming a different grown-up version of himself, coming off
Right.
Inspector Gadget or whatever. And I just thought it's a very dark comedy
Yeah.
where Jim
Yeah.
Carrey started to show the range
That he
that
had.
he
Yeah.
has.
And
He's
there's-
just not
yeah.
a goof.
You think it's a light comedy that turns dark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, quick. But Megan loves that movie.
I love Jim Carrey.
Not enough to put it on her top 5.
No.
I'm just mad that I'm going to lose this
Why
crossover thing.
do you like Cable Guy then? Just because of Jim Carrey, or
Yeah, I think it's a good movie. I mean, I saw it because of Jim Carrey, yes, But again, I went in, I guess not knowing it was going to be as dark as it was, thinking it was going to be another comedy, and I was surprised at I even liked it after knowing when it ended, after knowing what the movie was, and I was like, okay, he can do other things.
All right, what is your number 3?
I do remember everybody being shocked about that
Yeah.
switch from that. So, my number 3 is one that you were very familiar with, and I think that not nearly as many people would remember this movie, and it's Tremors,
Oh,
Part 1, with Kevin the Man Bacon. Tell
You
us
know
about
what? You're
Tremors.
exactly right, but because it's so well known to me,
So
I
well
should have
known
put that
to
down.
You wouldn't put it in the list, but I think a lot of people haven't seen Tremors.
I agree.
And
I've
you
never
have
seen it.
You've never seen Tremors? Dun dun dun. Matt has seen all 17 different movies they've made.
7.
How
Are
many
you
are
in
there,
any
7?
of them?
No.
Oh, well, I know
There
you
are
get all
7
these
there.
commercial roles. I don't know
Oh,
if you
no,
got it like
no. I thought you were going to say that's the only reason you'd watch them.
See? It's perfect.
Um,
Right there sitting next to me is
Well,
reason it's on
and
the
you're
list.
right. It's forgotten. I should have picked it, but because you're right, because I'm such a huge fan.
Part 7 came out how long? Not that long ago.
2
right?
years ago.
Just 2
Yeah,
years
just
ago.
recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was filmed right before the pandemic, and it came out during the I don't know. It
And
came out
didn't-
during the pandemic.
We were talking about it, not on a podcast, I don't think, but in our normal chit chat. And I think, didn't you say that you feel like they've ended it? It's over now?
Yeah, they did. And the
Okay.
last one, it is the
They're
end.
done with it.
They
Okay.
should.
So yeah, 7 movies worth, and if there's anything,
But
to spawn a sequel.
high DVD sales kept
Really?
kept convincing Universal to keep doing more sequels.
People like you.
Because they kept saying the DVD sales were there.
Who do you
People
watch
were-
those with? Your brother or
Bruce.
Bruce?
Yeah,
Okay.
Bruce and I watch them together. But the
I
thing-
love that you've seen all 7. I've seen the first 2, and I was done.
in a
But but the first one is a magnificent movie.
well, 2 is for me the best.
Is
And
it?
Kevin Bacon's son said, "Dad, have you seen Tremors 2?" He went, "No, but I was in Tremors 1." He went, "Yeah, but Tremors 2 is better, Dad." And it's true. Tremors 2 is like they amped up the humor, and it's just they were. Tremors is probably the most serious of all the movies, even though it had comedy.
Okay.
The rest of them have a good flavored comedy. Good flavored comedy.
Okay.
Like things that make sense. Like why hunt down the worms? In the second one, do you know what Fred Ward does? Because he's done this before. He was in the first movie.
No.
Fred Ward says, okay, what do I need to fight these? I need dynamite and remote control cars. They're like, what? He's like, that's all I need. They said, you don't need guns? Or he's like, nope. And what he does is he runs the car around the desert for them to come
Lets
get it,
them
and
swallow
then
it.
ignites the dynamite and
Pulls
blows
the
them
trigger.
up.
Right. That's how you
I
kill
was like, that's what you do. But then, of course,
That's
the
how you kill a
the
crate dragon
worms
in the
evolve.
Mandalorian. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess. The Tremors and okay, so good pick. I should have picked that, but I
No.
didn't think about it because
I am just so thrilled that because what I was going to say about that pick was I was like, Matt, can you tell everybody why we should watch Tremors? And you told us all why we should watch Tremors 2. In which case, I will.
well, I'm just saying, Tremor. You said I've seen all 7. I was telling you why.
I'm just going to say I'm going to put a button on that by saying you can't watch Tremors 2 unless
Well,
you've
actually,
seen Tremors
yeah,
1.
of
So
course.
that's why it's in my top list.
Go watch it.
I was just waiting for Kevin Bacon to dance. That's it. I was disappointed.
Like, what's the point in this movie?
Or
He's
full
not
frontal
dancing.
nudity like he's in whatever it's called.
Okay, whatever it's called.
Whatever that movie is with the two.
Max.
No, it's the movie with the two chicks kissing.
Wild Things.
Oh,
So
there's
you
a
don't
90s
remember the bacon, but you remember
There's a
that.
90s
I remember
forgotten
seeing
movie.
his bacon. Yes.
You remember the two chicks. It's
Wait a
okay.
minute. Wild
on.
Things would have been a good pick for a 90s movie.
It is.
For sure.
No, that's one everybody saw too for a second.
And
knew
then
about,
no one
and
talks
it's
about it
done.
now.
Right.
They paused it.
I remember who
Wow.
was in that.
Yeah. What's her name? Coming back from the car wash.
Denise Richards.
You know it.
Yeah.
So we've come to the aforementioned solidified number 2 on your list.
Go for it.
Oh. So this is one that Matt kind of mentioned earlier about.
Is he
No,
going to
it's
get
not
it
a
finally
crossover.
across?
Oh,
He just mentioned it in reference.
Okay.
Okay.
But my number 2 is Hook.
Hook. That's a brilliant.
Oh, because I said,
Robin
is that your
Williams.
favorite one or is it Hook? Yeah, okay, yeah.
Uh,
I did say
yeah.
that.
I still don't know what my favorite Robin
I
Williams
talked
movie
about
is, but
Hook about 2 weeks ago on this podcast about how much I loved that story in
It-
Peter Pan and
it-
everything else.
It was a
No, because I said that's where I wanted to grow up in Neverland,
Yes.
but because of Hook.
it was a true Steven Spielberg cinematic
Adventure.
adventure.
It really was.
And it was good.
but for
but-
the longest time,
No
Okay,
buts. No
okay.
buts.
I had no idea that Dustin Hoffman was Hook.
You
the
didn't,
longest
I didn't know that for
didn't
years.
catch him underneath the mask kind of
Yeah,
thing?
I had no
I didn't know
idea.
that for years either.
Really?
Yeah, no, I found that out when I was in college.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. He was
I was
Captain Hook.
older.
He wasn't anybody else.
I know, but I didn't
You didn't-
peg him as Hook until I was watching it again in college.
So you didn't catch. My honorable mention on this list was Rain Man when he was.
I didn't even know that was Dustin Hoffman. I'm kidding.
So anyway,
Rain
but
Man's
yes.
a good one.
So
But yeah, Hook
is
my
that your
number
all-time favorite?
Run home, Jack.
2. I don't know.
Run home, Jack.
I need to figure out what
That's
my
Bob
favorite
Hoskins
Robin
selling it
Williams
too.
is.
You got Roger Rabbit.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah.
He made a connection between Roger Rabbit and Hook.
Roger
for
Rabbit
you.
I'm
and
sorry,
Hook-
what was
Bob
it?
Hoskins doing his thing. As
Oh,
Smee.
that's
He was
true.
Smee.
That's right. That's right. I
You
forgot
just
about
like
that.
Bob Hopkins.
He's a good actor.
I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
right.
I didn't even think about that.
My number 2, I want to say it was a big movie coming out. It was the first movie to, I think, really back in the 90s, have a very unique twist. The first time I'd ever seen it done, Arlington Road.
Nope.
Okay. Jeff
Yeah,
Bridges.
me too. I don't know.
Everybody at the table
He's
said,
telling
we don't know what
you,
you're talking
he's teaching a college course about,
Jeff Bridges?
yeah.
Okay.
About terrorists among us, spies among us who are terrorizing our own nation.
What year was this?
Spies among, late 90s.
Late 90s.
I think.
All right.
And then there's, I can't remember the other two. One is Joan Cusack.
Joan
Cusack is in it, and then she's married to someone else, and I can't remember who it is now. But anyway, yeah, it's really good.
What was the name of it?
Arlington Road, because I think they
Arlington
live.
Road?
It's his neighbors, and they live on Arlington Road.
Okay.
And his neighbors are terrorists, but they're
So is it a
American
political
terrorists.
thriller? Like it takes place?
No, it takes place in America,
Yeah.
but he's saying there are people in America who are trying to radicalize our, terrorists are trying to shake
Wow.
things up.
And this
and
was pre 9/11.
oh yeah,
Wow.
but really big ending. Really, nothing I'd never seen done before. You see it done now,
Sure.
but it would never been done.
Wow.
So it's a really big twist. It's really good.
Certainly have forgotten.
And I'm not even
Never seen
spoiling it, saying that the neighbors were terrorists, but that's not the big twist. So it's just.
Man,
it was
don't
just
tell me there's
solid
another
movie.
twist. I was going to think that was a twist.
I know, for real.
ruined
I
it.
know, for real. All right, so number 2, Wes.
Mallrats.
Mallrats? I can't say I've ever seen Mallrats. Should
That's
I add it
a
to the list?
really good pick. Trimmers and Mallrats should have been on my list.
Why should I add Mallrats to the list?
Well, I think it's the follow-up to Clerks, for one thing.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm already interested now.
So, and it's a different take as far as the convenience store life. You're looking at 2 young guys, and it's kind of connected.
It is, but it's more mainstream. Of all of his movies feel like indie movies, except for Mallrats. In a good way. That's not a bad way. Just in a good way.
Right. And it's,
Young Ben Affleck,
yep.
Hey.
young-
Jason Lee.
Hey.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the in between of that, and it was like talking about comics, which is a lot of the inside humor of it, like Superman and
Supporting actor is Stan Lee. I mean, he's in multiple scenes.
Awesome.
he talks about using a condom for Superman that's made of kryptonite, but that would kill him. So you have all these like funny references, like this is the in between where
Banky.
Superman
That was
or
his
like
name.
superhero movies were like dying out and comics were dying out
Yeah.
before it kicked.
Before
that-
it jump started back up. Yeah.
Right. So it was kind of funny that they talked about that as such an inside baseball way of
'Cause
things.
People freak out about Stan Lee and cameos of Marvel.
Right.
Back then, no one even cared that he was in there. In fact, I bet most people who saw the movie didn't realize who until they told you who it was. Like, wait, is that Stan
Yeah.
Lee?
Yeah.
He's the creator of Marvel Comics. Yeah, they had to explain that in the movie.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people wouldn't have known that. As Banky keeps talking to Stan Lee.
I think a lot of it is just the fact that it's so different than Clerks. And I almost picked Chasing Amy because Chasing Amy is even darker.
Late 90s, yeah.
Yeah. Not to sound sappy, but it's more of a love story. This is just so silly.
Yeah. The 3D.
It's a fun
the
80s
3D
or fun
sailboat,
90s movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 3D, your eyes get blurry. You can see the sailboat in the fuzzy picture.
Oh, I hate those things. Yes.
Yeah, well, that's
There's a
one
hook
the
of that,
jokes.
so
There's
it's
a
very
whole running
90s. If you
gag.
watch it now, you're like, oh yeah, I remember all this.
Yeah, it's all
That's
straight
cool.
90s, but it's,
Yeah, I
it's
guess that
really
was
good.
90 when those
and it's
got
not,
really popular with
Chasing
the
Amy
dogs.
has the indie feel though.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard for me to pick between those, but
Yeah.
I think I like Mallrats more because one, it has that mall
Right.
feel to
Well, yeah,
it.
we
and we
know.
were talking just off the podcast about how y'all worked at the mall.
Correct.
Had that same vibe.
Yeah.
Right.
So it just
Years ago.
Good pick.
yeah.
Good
And
pick.
it's Kevin Smith, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And so, how would he have felt, you think? Because he was a Stan Lee fan. Imagine having Stan Lee say yes and being able to go to work.
Back then, Stanley wasn't doing much
But
though.
for Kevin
But-
Smith,
no,
it
it was a
was
big deal for Kevin
But that's
Smith.
what I'm saying. Like, imagine
Yeah.
being Kevin Smith and having
No.
him on set every day.
Before anyone thought of having Stan Lee in their
Right.
movie,
Right.
even Marvel, even old Spider-Man movies stuff.
Yeah.
it was really Kevin Smith's idea to bring him in.
When did he start doing the cameos? Do we know?
Well, I think early in X-Men, I know he had some,
I can't remember.
but it was just
I don't remember.
most people didn't recognize who Stan Lee was.
There has to be a YouTube montage I can watch of
There
like,
is,
all
I'm
the
sure.
Stan Lee, Marvel.
All right, so
cinematic
number 2.
appearances is the Sandlot, which I feel like most people have seen, but surprisingly, more people haven't, and it's one of those you need to watch this movies.
It's a great movie.
How do you not? How can you not watch The Sandlot? You haven't lived until you've seen The Sandlot.
it's like the Field of Dreams for little boys.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's the Field of Dreams for little kids. It's magnificent.
And who? Well, I say who, but I mean, my life was almost like
Yeah.
the Sandlot. We would go outside in my backyard,
All
a
summer
bunch
long.
of neighborhood kids, and play, and we'd play
Did you
against
have
other
The Sandlot?
We'd play against other
I never
neighborhood
knew
kids.
this. Tell me
we
about
had,
this.
We had 6 teams
What?
in the neighborhood, and we'd play baseball between each other.
Holy
And it's something that they kept a few years after we left. But kids from other neighborhoods we'd get on bikes and go to different, backyards or empty lots and play baseball.
So you lived it.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's why I loved it.
I had no idea.
I didn't put it on my list, but it almost made
You
my top
love
five.
The
Because it's so
Sandlot.
well
I do
known,
love The Sandlot,
right?
yeah.
Is that why you bumped it out? because more people know it. But I've
Yeah.
run into too many people, and like if I say too many people, that's probably one
But see,
who
here's the
hasn't seen
thing.
it. But it's
People
too
know,
many.
People know the line.
People
from
know
it, but
the
they
lines.
don't know what it's from.
But the lines are so precious,
Like, You're
partly
Killing Me,
because of the
Smalls.
movie. You're
They
killing
don't
me,
know what
small.
that
Yeah, that's a
You're
t-shirt
Killing Me,
everywhere.
Smalls. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think people know what that means now.
So funny. There's a picture of the guy who played Smalls.
Yeah.
Or the kid, grown
The
up
kid who
now.
said that
Who
line?
said the line?
Yes.
He's grown up now, and he ran into a fan that was actually wearing the shirt with him on it that said, "You're killing me, Smalls." The fan had no idea who he was.
Oh.
Didn't even know what movie it was from.
See, that's a perfect reason why it's on my number 2 list. Right
I
there.
know I'm not arguing.
Now I'm done.
Number 1.
Hey, guess what, Matt? Still no crossover.
You've won. You've won. This is over.
Yeah, it's
Number
fine.
1.
I overestimated.
I figured, but I will say, I feel like we all have different good movies on our list.
Agreed.
Like there's
should've
several that I'm
gone.
like, oh yeah.
All right. Should have gone 1. At least I would have held out some hope. All right, go.
Oh,
Okay,
she's
so
smiling about this one.
My number, oh, it's so good.
Just looking at
And
it.
I watched it probably just last year with you, I think. But anyway, Speed.
Speed! Keanu Reeves, the ultimate.
Keanu
That's fantastic. I had forgotten about Speed.
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper.
That's another
Sandra
movie
Bullock.
that was, you
Sandra
couldn't get
Bullock.
away from
Good-looking
Speed when
Sandra
it came
Bullock.
out. What was that,
She's still
96,
good.
97?
No, she's still good, yeah.
I have it.
good looking.
94.
94. But yeah,
Yeah.
everybody saw Speed, and that was it. Like Burger King probably had Speed stuff too.
I don't know, but that was that was a.
Yeah.
And besides the bus jumping scene, it's still
Yeah.
fun.
What did you like most? What comes to mind the most with Speed? Hopper, Keanu, or Sandra?
I will say, and this is not a spoiler because everybody's either seen it or they're not going to watch it. at
Of
this
course,
point.
yeah. Spoiler alert for Speed.
Whenever he killed Jeff Daniels,
I don't even remember Jeff Daniels being in the movie.
he
Oh,
was the
wow.
friend. Remember, he goes to. They find out Dennis
Oh, he was the
Hopper's
cop,
he was
right?
the cop.
Yeah.
They find out Dennis Hopper's the.
They
the-
go to his
Black
house.
guy.
They go to his house and he blows up his
yes.
house, and his friend was in there.
So the shock of that moment still
Yeah.
resonates with you the most?
Yeah.
Wow. Even though you know the twist, you're like,
Because
the
you
twist.
don't
It's a-
expect him to.
It's a good scene because is Jeff Bridges again?
Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels sees the bomb and just
Bomb.
kind of
And he's
just
like,
he
he
knows
knows.
it's done. He
Yeah,
knows
it's over. He
Because
doesn't
he's
even
a bomb
run.
expert. Yeah, him and Keanu Reeves.
and
are
he knows it's
partners.
about to
I
go
remember
off.
that
You
now.
can see it in
Yeah.
he just kind of just
Well, and
sideways.
they-
It's acting.
Yeah,
It's acting. It's good though.
But they
well,
had just-
usually
Well, no, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
He's like
He's
he
like
owns
that.
the scene.
He does.
Exactly right. But that also is the director. And that's what The Mandalorian doesn't do. That's what I was complaining about. You don't let
Another
an actor
callback.
act.
Calling
And like,
it a
how do you
callback.
take some of these most amazing actors like freaking Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor and all these other people and not give them moments like that? That's
Well,
directing.
and he had just gotten hurt previously from going after Dennis Hopper, going back to Speed, and so he gets a medal for it. So he has a limp.
I haven't seen
And
Speed in way too long.
So they're at a bar, celebrating the medal that they just got.
Yeah.
And Dennis Hopper's right there,
The
like
whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
you
like one of
just
those
don't
after you know he's the
connect.
killer, you watch it differently the second time around.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Like you pick up on things.
Very cool.
My number 1,
Number 1.
Kevin Costner. Baseball.
Field of
The Perfect
for
Game.
the love of the game.
For the love of the game.
Oh,
the one that
man.
people don't recall.
What a great pick.
That is. That's
That is a
good.
great movie.
It is. I mean, Field of Dreams is excellent.
It
it's
is,
excellent.
no
but
doubt.
everyone still knows it.
Without question. But
But they forget that he was in another movie that was, if Field of Dreams had not been made, this would have been his baseball movie.
baseball movie,
I don't know because for the love of the game.
And you
was
got Bull
about
Durham too. Don't
Bull
forget
Durham,
your.
Look,
Not as good. okay,
no, I would disagree with that.
Oh snap!
that's fine. But for the love of the game, he's pitching his last game of the
Yep.
season.
And it takes
And
place over the course of the last
takes
game,
place
right?
over the 9 innings where he's suddenly pitching a no-hitter.
And he doesn't even know
John
it.
C. Reilly, before he went
Yeah.
comedy, is the catcher.
Yep.
And every inning, it's showing flashbacks of his life. What
Yeah.
has gotten to be this to this point.
What led him up to now?
Great movie.
It's magnificent.
Sam Raimi did it. The Evil Dead car is in it.
Oh yes, it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When he meets his wife, first time he met her was at a game. He was driving on the highway and her car's dead, and it's the
Oh,
Evil
yeah,
Dead
Kelly
car.
Preston.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go.
That's a great movie.
That's a good one.
Number one, Wes.
So I don't think any of you have even seen this movie. 4 Rooms.
I've seen it.
Hey.
Yep.
Okay.
Tim Roth.
I have
Bellhop.
It's 4 separate stories.
Yep. Yeah, Tim Roth is the only string, right? Because he's the bellhop who goes to visit all 4.
Yep.
Okay.
He's working in this.
Lots of stars in that.
Who directed The
Lots.
Room? Do you know?
4 Rooms. I don't know for sure who directed it, but Quentin Tarantino is in it.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Madonna's in it.
I want to say Catherine Zeta-Jones. I can't. A lot of '90s actors.
Bruce Willis is in it.
Wow.
Antonio Banderas is in it.
Tons of stars. Everyone who was big in the '90s is
A
in
90s Antonio.
It is
Hey.
it. Yeah, but it's 4 mini movies.
We used to watch it all the time, and we could quote. It's got a lot of great one-liners because Tim Roth
Yes, Tim Roth is great.
He is owning.
Directed by Tarantino.
Okay,
Yeah.
So
it's
I would
got
say
directors
that's-
plural on here. So
Well,
well, they all directed a part.
that's-
It's got 4 directors. Do you think that they matched it
Before
together?
different
that's what
rooms,
I'm
yeah.
thinking.
Wow.
wow, that's cool.
Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez, Allison Anderson, Alexandre Rockwell.
Robert Rodriguez, who did a lot of Boba Fett.
Ah. And I probably loved whatever episodes Robert Rodriguez did. Didn't he do the penultimate episode of Boba Fett?
He did most of the Boba
I think
Fett.
he did. Okay. But yes. So anyway, magnificent. So Tarantino is one of the best directors of all time.
Correct.
But yeah.
It's just very unique. All of it is just like this one guy's night taking care of these 4 different, and it's very Pulp Fiction
What
feeling.
cool idea
Yeah.
to do 4 directors for 4 stories.
So
That was pretty cool.
Number 1.
I think you would like it because it takes place in the rooms.
yes,
Yeah. So it's almost like, one of those stage to screen movies.
Yeah, I love that.
It plays like that.
That's cool.
You can look at this and go, I can see someone doing this on stage.
I'm absolutely adding this to the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good pick. Good pick.
Very cool.
Number 1.
Number
Benjamin.
1 for me is solidifying the fact that we have no crossover
Congratulations.
whatsoever. Because it's Troll Part 2. The best, worst movie ever made. Have you never seen Troll Part 2?
I never even knew of Troll
Never
1.
heard of Troll
I
Part 2?
neither.
No one. You don't
No,
need to watch.
it's,
Look,
it's infamous as being the
there's
worst movie
there's
ever
no
made.
reason to watch Troll 1. You know why? Because they're not connected at all. There's a documentary called The Best Worst Movie Ever Made. And
I've
it's
seen that.
all about the creation of Troll Part 2, which is just magnificent.
It's so bad, it's
It is
good. Like
so bad. It is
what's-
MST3K gold. Gold. It is platinum MST3K.
what is that other
Like,
movie
it
that's
is
so bad it's good that everyone makes fun of? They made a
Leprechaun?
movie. No, they made a movie about the making
about
of the movie.
making of the movie.
What was that movie called?
The
Roof?
Room?
The Room.
Was it? Yes,
yeah,
yes.
it's on par with The Room.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's horrendously bad, but so much fun to watch. And the big reveal, the plot twist for this movie is like the little kid is in there and they've been abducted by trolls, I guess, or something. Who knows? But he's like, in the town that they go to is called Nilbog. And he's like, Nilbog, it's goblins spelled backwards. And they're like being abducted by goblins, but the name of the movie is Troll
Trolls.
2. And it's like there's no trolls in it. And it's just incredibly bad. But okay.
The movie called Trolls 2 with no trolls.
Here's the thing. I have seen all of the Twilight movies, but I have never seen the Twilight movies without the MST3K dub over it. And telling you, the Twilight movies are fantastic if you watch them with MST3K, with those guys
Oh, I'm sure.
talking over it. They are so good. I love Twilight, but only those versions. And the MST3K version of Troll 2 with them talking over it is the most priceless masterpiece I've ever seen. And that's why it's my number 1, absolute number 1. Without question, it was the first thing I wrote down of the 90s. It's magnificent.
Wow.
It's a
I
blast.
just looked up
Don't
the
watch
cast.
the movie as it is,
I
like
don't know
straight.
anybody in the cast.
You have to find the MST3. No, you won't know anyone in the cast. All these people have died from shame, like immediately as soon as they were in this movie. It's horrible. I take it back. There was one guy who was in it. I think maybe the little kid. He was the star of that documentary that went around, and he went to all these different places talking about the best, worst movie ever made. Oh, it's just a priceless gem of cinematography, and everything you wish that you had never done is horrible. It's so good. But yes. Even
All right.
if you just watch the documentary, it's worth watching by itself, even
So
if you
real
haven't seen the
quick-
movie.
Oh.
Honorable
Going back-
mentions.
Oh, okay, honorable.
Well,
Three honorable mentions.
just the one that was
That's
chosen
fine.
for number 3 that I couldn't decide between
Oh
the
yeah,
bodyguard
the flip.
was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Hey, there's the Costner. I watch that movie all the time.
For the longest time, I thought you could see his booty in the waterfall, but that's not his.
It's a butt double.
It's a butt double,
Oh my
and I'm
God.
so disappointed.
Are you heartbroken? Is that
Yes.
why I got bumped out of the
That's
number
why
3?
it's not my number 3.
Okay, that's justifiable.
No, but I love that movie.
I do too.
I love that
I
movie.
absolutely adore that movie. It's great.
All right. Well, thank
Everything
you
I do.
everyone for their picks, and folks listening at home. If you know of some forgotten 90s movies, let us know in the comments.
Please.
Because obviously we forgot them too.
No, I mean I love that I have a whole list generated now of our forgotten movies. Yeah, a whole new list.
Right.
What do we?
All right. What else do you have to say, Mrs.
Yeet.
Saturday.
Morning.
Samoflange!